Okay, so like we are coming from the back from the break, but some people may already be in the track 2 and the doors is closing. Thank you whoever is doing that. Bu arada ikinci direğe gitmek isteyenler varsa artık gördüğünüz gibi o kapı kapandı. Dışarıdan deskin oradan gitmeniz gerekiyor. I'm with Darya. Darya come all the way from Poland here to talk about the Bedrock agents and how we are using them for document processing. I will leave it to her. Thank you, Darya, for coming again.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the introduction, Emran. So today I'm going to talk about how to build a Bedrock agent for document processing, a little setup, like kind of set a stage for this talk. We already had a nice introduction during our keynote today, thanks to Usman, because he talked about how to build an agent in general. But this talk is like a tutorial style walkthrough, how to actually start with building an agent. And this is simple, you can use your own AWS account, but we will get to it shortly. So, and I wanted to start with a quote of Andrew Ng, who is a founder of Deep Learning AI. And he said that he thinks that AI agentic workflows will drive massive AI progress this year, perhaps even more than the next generation of foundation models. To be honest, he said this about last year, but I believe this is still actual to the current year as well, because you can see that many companies drop in new models, I guess, every week. And yeah, they're getting slightly better, but what can really do a difference is to have agent acting as a smart assistant. So our agenda here today, I will briefly introduce Bedrock agents, and also we will talk about what is a document processing agent overall, how would we like to use it, and then I will walk you through different stages how to build your document processing agent using Bedrock, how to create agent itself, how to add an action group, how to create and add knowledge base, and also I will, as far as we go, pay attention at common errors that you may encounter during this process. And also I will briefly share what to keep in mind and how can you enhance your agent and where to go next. And hopefully we will have some space for Q&A. So my name is Darya, and I'm an AWS community builder. Now I'm based in Poland. I work as a senior data scientist at a company called SLB. So I like to learn new things about GenAI, data science, NLP, and I like to share my knowledge. So let me introduce Bedrock agents. We already had some introduction today, but kind of reframe this. A Bedrock agent is an orchestration software that guides workflows between user request, foundation model, external data sources, and applications. So it is something like orchestra conductor who can manage everything. And what is going on under the hood? Agent uses React reasoning technique. React is short from reasoning and action. So what it does, we have some predefined prepended instructions, like setting stage of the agent role. We have our foundation model as a reasoning engine. An agent works by doing step-by-step workflow. So if we task it with a simple or not so simple task, it will try to break it down into multiple steps and produce some questions. Based on these questions, some thoughts. Then it will try to take an action and it will have an observation. And then chaining these steps all together, it will try to accomplish our task. If we talk about document processing agent, I will try to talk about this in general, but this can be very specific to your use case, right? What kind of documents you're working with, what kind of industry you're working with. But there are some basic tasks that we would like to accomplish with a document processing agent. First of all, this is summarization. We don't need to go through documents, read all the pages. We need to quickly know what is going on in this document. Then we have information retrieval. Given a document, we need to have the ability to ask the question and get an immediate answer. Also, data analysis. If we have a, let's say, Excel spreadsheet, we want to have a quick insight of what's going on. Or plot generation. It's also a popular task because if you have an Excel spreadsheet, you want to know what's going on there. And also some boring and quick changes. For example, changing some dates format or another like formatting, just to adjust some content format. This is pretty boring for humans and can be easily automated. Yeah, these are just examples. The first screenshot is when we need to ask about some specific question based on the document. The second is altering dates format. Imagine that we have year, month, day format, and we need to convert it to American format like year, month, day. And agent can do it and output the altered file. Also, these were basic tasks, but we also can have advanced tasks. And if we want our agent to work with, for example, AWS services like Translate or Textract, we need to have the possibility to integrate it with these services. Also, we can build a complex pipelines. So to enable multi-step reasoning, for example, retrieve a document from a S3 bucket, then translate it to multiple languages, then put this information to DynamoDB and send this to some employees, for example. Or we want to have the ability to have a knowledge base and to query the knowledge base and have RAG-based search across different documents to retrieve relevant information. So this is how your agent may look like, and I wanted to look into it like layer by layer. The first layer is to like the main interaction, what is happening. The main interaction is happening between user and a Bedrock agent, which is your document processing agent. And all the actions, complex actions that your agent can do, they are accomplished using action groups. You can configure action groups in Agent Builder, and I will show you how to do it. But essentially, in an Agent Builder, you specify what are possible actions your agent can take. So this is like a tutorial for your agent, like a description of tools. But the place where you connect and give the agent the ability to execute this action is your Lambda function. So this Lambda function, it contains actual code of your tools. And your tools are essentially APIs that agent can call. In our example it can call an API of Amazon Translate and translate some documents. It can call an API that integrated with S3 and can save or retrieve some documents. Or, for example, it can connect to DynamoDB or use Amazon Textract to have some PDF parsing. And the bottom layer is essentially our knowledge base. So our knowledge base in this case was in S3. This was a collection of documents placed in S3 bucket. Sorry, I will get rid of it. Okay, sorry about this. We had a collection of documents in S3 bucket, and these documents were preprocessed, and Amazon OpenSearch Serverless Index was created based on this document. This is basically your vector index, and this knowledge base, this vector index, was connected through agent knowledge bases, so that it gives the ability the agent to query your index and accomplish rec-based search. So then, now we're going into a more practical part, how to build a document processing Bedrock agent. I know this is like maybe a little bit challenging to cover in half an hour, so I will give you just an intro how to do it, and then I will share with you a QR code of GitHub repo where you have all these instructions and you just follow along. So first, like the basic step is to create the agent itself. And it is very simple. You don't need any code even. You can go to the Bedrock console, choose Builder Tools and Agents. Then you need to provide some information like agent name and optional description, and you just click Create, and bam, your agent is created. And then you will be prompted to the agent builder. And at this stage, maybe the most important part is to select the model. You're just selecting the model, and you even don't need to make sure that you have an access to this model, because this, simply speaking, these models won't be available for you if you don't have access. So you need to enable access beforehand. Also, all the other steps like resource role selection, instruction specifications, may be optional depending on your use case. Here you can see that I specified some instructions to enable agent to execute better, to do better job, basically. But if your agent is very simple, you can skip these instructions. And also we have some additional settings like code interpreter and user input. And I will talk about code interpreter later. So, and already we just created agent, we just selected a model, and already we can accomplish these basic tasks. So we can summarize, we can retrieve information, we can analyze data, create some simple plots, we can make simple changes. So it's already available, and this is a big progress, because previously when Bedrock agent just appeared, they couldn't do this from scratch, so you had to program all these actions. Now we have such an ability. And I also wanted to show here possible errors that you can encounter, because if you cannot select any model, that means you don't have any model access, and you need to go to the Bedrock console and request model access. You want those models that you want to use. Also, there's a second error, is it's a little bit misleading, because it is saying incorrectly formatted overridden prompt. You see it on my screenshot, but basically my prompt is okay. One thing is not okay, because model already understands that it needs to use code interpreter. So not just large language model as a reasoning agent, but ability to create some code and execute this code. And you saw it in our agent builder. We can enable it and we can disable it. So, and if we disable it and we ask in something create a plot or some like coding involved action, that you may encounter this error. All you need to do is to go back and enable code interpreter. And also, after any changes you do in Agent Builder, don't forget to prepare your agent so your changes will be propagated and saved to the agent. And I wanted to show you just a quick demo. It's a shame that I cannot show you everything, but I can show you just a short one. Yeah, so this demo covers what it takes to create an agent. We are in Bedrock console, and we are specifying our name and description for the agent. And you can see that we already prompted in our agent builder, and we need to select a model, or we can leave it as is. And yeah, I talked about description. In that case, I specified it, but no description, sorry, instructions. In that case, I specified it. But for example, if you have very simple agent with just one knowledge base, maybe you don't need to even bother about additional instructions. And here, yeah, additional settings where we have code interpreter. In that case, it was disabled. And that's why I got the error you saw in the screenshot. So you can see that here I save the agent, and then you need to prepare the agent once again. And also you can see that we have a resource role here, but it was created automatically, and I automatically have an access to use the foundation model. So I don't need to bother about this as well. And then I can test the agent. I can attach file to chat or to code interpreter. In that case, I used my local storage, but you can also use S3 as your storage. And you attach it, and you just ask whenever you want, just whenever you want based on the document context. And you can essentially chat with your agent as you want to. Yeah, the closest deadline was on February 15th. Looks like we're slightly behind the schedule, but I believe it's okay. All right, so going back to the slides. So you saw a basic setup of your agent. Now it's a layer number 2, we can create an action group. So again, action group is a toolbox that defines actions that your agent can perform, defines API that your agent can call, and you can have up to 20 action groups per agent. And to create an action group, it is simply in Agent Builder. You just go to Action Groups and you click Add. And you also need to specify action group type, whether you will define it with function details or with API schemas. And the function details options looks like this. So you need to give your agent a precise description of what kind of functions it can call and what kind of parameters it should provide. And last but not least, you need to connect your code to the agent. So in our case, we're using Lambda function. Yeah, possible errors here. Access, yeah, they are most probably are related to Lambda function. Access denied while invoking Lambda function. Then you need to add a resource-based policy statement on your Lambda. And the second one, your Lambda may throw error processing response. It means that maybe you didn't put attention that Lambda output format should be formatted specifically, or your Lambda just hits the timeout. It may be the case when you call in services like Textract, and a good way to mitigate is to increase the timeout. So, and by creating an action group, our agent will be able to accomplish some advanced task, calling other AWS services, and accomplish complex pipelines. Now it is level 3. So we already created agent, we already created action group, and now we want to create something like a knowledge base to search across our documents. So first we need to create the knowledge base itself. It's again in our Bedrock. You need to go to Builder Tools and Knowledge Bases and create knowledge base with vector store. Then you need to specify like basic details, name, description, permissions, and most importantly, your data source details. And then in our case, it was a 3 bucket, and you need to specify most precisely like name, location, S3 URI, and also how would you like to parse your documents. Most probably default parsing would be good, but if you have a lot of pictures and you want to use this information, you may use foundation model as a parser, and a chunking strategy may be dependent on your use case. And then you will specify embedded model. Here you need to check that you have access to it, because it won't let you know if you don't. And also specify vector database, in our case as OpenSearch serverless. Then you review and create. Don't forget to sync your data sources to have access to them, and then select model to test, and you always can track what kind of documents are retrieved. And then you go back to your agent, to agent builder, to knowledge bases, and you add knowledge base, and you can have up to 2 associated knowledge bases per agent. And this gives you ability to have a RAG-based search. So, but I also wanted to pay attention, what should you keep in mind when building an agent? Of course, security, input sanitization and validation, access control, audit and test your agent multiple times. As for now, we can work with text and files, no audio at the moment. And last, don't overkill. If you have just like a pipeline where your documents should be summarized automatically, it's no need to have an agent. And I also want to underline that agents are flexible. You can adjust number of action groups, action group functions, modify Lambda function code, and also agent can return control, and you can play with knowledge bases, different types, multiple data sources, and even structured data output. Yeah, and next steps, you can use multimodal data retrieval from a knowledge base. You can keep the memory between sessions inside your agent. You can increase the security while using the guardrails with reasoning checks, and you can have multiple agent collaborations. So this is how to go next. And here are takeaways that agents can automate your complex document workflows. Building one is easy, straightforward, and you can always add up to complexity. And they are flexible and can be customized for different processing needs. This is a QR code for my repo that I created to just have, like step-by-step tutorial. If you want to start from, not start from scratch, start from somewhere. And I believe, I don't know whether we have a space for questions.
We can have one question if there's any.
Oh, just one.
Hey Darya, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
I like to ask about the cost here, which type of cost parameters we have. So for example, I want to create an AI agent. I like to process 1,000 documents every day. So what could be the estimated cost here?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you. I thought about putting the slide, but I forget, sorry. So if you create just an agent and you don't touch it, you pay nothing, because you will pay only by tokens for the model you are using. So if you're very chatty person and you want to test and test and test, I wouldn't say that you will exceed like $10 limit, but be cautious with knowledge bases, because if you create an open source serverless index, that would be like, you can just leave it idle because it will charge you by time. Thank you.
Darya will be around, not all day, but like until lunch. So if there is any other questions, you can find her around. Thank you, Darya.
Thank you.
It was very nice to have you here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And please accept this as a
Thank
gift
you.
from today.
I love it.